Hey everyone, welcome to Devos with Pastor Danny once again. We are looking at Daniel chapter 6, and that's the story of Daniel and the lion's den. But you know what? We're not looking at the story of Daniel and the lion's den specifically. Instead, we're looking at the faith of Daniel. In spite of all the odds, in spite of satraps and all these other people going after Daniel, trying to get after him, trying to corner him because of his faith. We're going to see how God shows that He is driving and He's in control, and we're going to see the faith of Daniel. First, there was 120 satraps, Daniel 6 says, over the whole kingdom. And there were 3 presidents. Daniel was one of those. And the king planned to have Daniel because he was so faithful. He was doing such a great job over the whole kingdom. But it tells us in verse 4 that all the other presidents, the other satraps, they wanted to field a complaint against Daniel. And they knew that the only way, because he was such a man of high character, he was such a godly man, the only way they could get at him was by finding a complaint in connection, it says, with his law of his God. And so he was such of high character, so faithful, there was no error or fault to be found otherwise. So they came to this agreement where they'd say, hey, King Darius, for 30 days, nobody should petition any god or man outside of you, O King Darius. And if they do petition any other god or person other than you, they are cast in the lion's den. Well, as soon as Daniel finds out about this, what's he do? He goes to his house. He has his windows open. He gets on his knees 3 times a day and he prays. He prays to God. And then, we know, just if you want to read Daniel 6, you can see that he was in the lion's den and that King Darius hated that he had to put Daniel in the lion's den, and he stayed up all night fasting, just praying that Daniel would be spared. And Daniel said, that God sent the angel to shut the lions' mouths, then that he was fine. And then King Darius told all the people with this decree this, verses 26 and 27, that the God of Daniel is the living God, enduring forever. His kingdom shall never be destroyed, and his dominion shall be to the end. He delivers and rescues. He works signs and wonders in heaven and on earth. He who has saved Daniel from the power of the lions. I love this, how Darius kind of went at first, that's a great ordinance. Let's say nobody should do anything but bow to me. And then later he sees God has changed his heart. He's overcome this evil and this hardness of his heart to show Darius and everyone that God is in control, that He is triumphant over evil and over the forces of evil. And friends, that's the truth for you and me today. May we be saying as well that God is the living God. He endures forever. His kingdom will never be destroyed. His dominion never ends. He delivers and rescues. He works signs and wonders in heaven and on earth. You know what that means for you and me? That God the Father works in your life and my life. Regardless what the world looks like out in our world, regardless what it looks like, Jesus is for you, and He loves you, and He's triumphant. So go in that hope and that joy today. We'll talk to you soon.